welcome to you all from around the world. We can see that more and more of you are joining. Rosemary, thank you for introducing and welcoming our friends. I'd love to know how many of you are with us for the very first time. This is a series that is growing. I decided that through the incredible length of my career, I wanted to share with you the people who mean a lot to me. Some I have worked with closely, some I've just enjoyed from afar. Sam, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm honored. Let me just say that.
Well, Sam, it goes without mentioning that the incredible things that you've done in your career, and I thank you for being with us today. Sam is somebody that I think, if we could bottle his energy and his brilliance and sprinkle that around the world, we would be living in a pretty magical place. And I think that is one thing. I view Sam as a teddy bear because when I see him, I just want to hug him.
Yeah,
and the thing I love the most about you, yes, we know that you've done incredible things in your career. You've had an incredible career with Redken, and you've had an incredible career within the salon world and the educational world, the television world. And we're going to dive into that because we see the results, the spoils of your hard work. But I think what's more fascinating is the thought process that brought you where you are today. And especially while we are confined and we're thinking about, do we reinvent ourselves or not? Is my reinvention my wardrobe, or is it the reinvention of self? What does it look like when we are all put on stop and we now press our reset button? Do we reset it in a different way? So today we're going to, my dear friends, we're going to explore this brilliant man's mind. And I know that you'll come away with a valuable, valuable insight and inspiration. We're going to see some of Sam's beautiful work. And then Sam's going to teach me. Yay! We're going to do hair. And
yes, we are.
You're going to have a nice blend of inspiration and education. So Sam, are you ready?
I'm more than ready. I've been anxious and very excited about this. I mean, it's like I was telling you earlier, Vivienne, I followed you. I love you in the first part of my career when I came out of school, and you were with Trevor Sorby, following you there. But it's amazing how you've asked me to be on and teach you something. I'm thinking, wow, the student is teaching the teacher. How exciting.
That's great. So I want to ask you some really amazing, I've got some good questions here. I want to first of all dive really in deep. Why not?
Okay.
Go into the deep end here. I would like to know the 3 big lessons learned that shaped your career.
The first lesson I learned was be who you really are. I'll never forget one of the very first times I was actually going on a stage to teach and present and do some hair. I followed the legendary Paul Mitchell himself. And I was like, okay, wow. I mean, Paul Mitchell. So I went up there and actually tried to be somebody that I was not. So my learning lesson was be and trust what got you there to that point at that given moment. That was a huge lesson for me. The second lesson for me was when I really found out from my dad, when he saw me going through my career, and he said, if you can help others get what they want, you will get what you want. So that really made me focus on not trying to be who I thought I needed to be. It was more focusing with intent and purpose on really being a true teacher and understanding the what, the how, and the why, and understanding that was about the people that were in my audience. That was a second lesson for me. And then the third lesson for me is, as I've gone, I've made a lot of mistakes, Vivienne, and I've learned from those mistakes. And I really believe that a mistake is only a mistake if you don't learn from it. I've certainly learned from my mistakes. I continue to make the mistakes, but having the mindset that it's okay to make a mistake and learn from it, as long as I learn from it, that was a huge lesson for another learning lesson for me along my career. Those would probably be the top 3.
So what does a typical work week look like, or what did it look like before this this situation we're in right now?
Well, Vivienne, you know, most people ask me, Sam, you seem like you're on the road a lot. How often do you travel? And the only way I could answer that, Vivienne, was to tell them I average about 8 days a month at home. The rest of the time I was pretty much on the road. And I'm so supported by a lovely family, caring family. And it was my passion was basically to teach. And that's what it required. It required me to go. Like I asked my wife, I said, do you like where we live? Are you happy? Yes. Well, then I need to go. Now I'm trying to teach my son, my 3-year-old, that. But it's been nice to be home now at this point.
Wow, amazing. And that's a sacrifice too, isn't it? Because people think it's glamorous to travel around the world, but there is a huge sacrifice that you're making along the way. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for sacrificing so much for us all to enjoy.
Yeah, you know, Vivienne, it's amazing. Clients would say, wow, what was that city like? And I'd say, well, I can tell you what the hotel was like, but I can't tell you what the city was like. You know how it is. You're so busy. You go in, you get out, you get ready for the next one.
Yes. So I've always seen you as a passionate, happy person. And I'm curious to know, what is the fuel? What is the driving aspect of your passion?
I've always believed, Vivienne, that people buy people and then they buy things. So I really believe that you have to sell yourself as a person. And it begins with what's outside as well as, importantly, what's inside. But I think it's about attitude, about personality, about having genuine concern for not only the industry, but the people that are in front of you. And I think that's what's so important in terms of my focus is it's never about me. It's about those people. And I've tried to really stand by that standard itself.
So you have this passion and you have this drive and you've got great principles, but how do you cope when things go horribly wrong? What is your go-to then? Because we all have it.
I get frustrated. I'll be really honest. You know, my team has so much patience with me, but you know, I get frustrated. I'll go, and then I'm done. You just let it go. You know, there's like, I can't control what my neighbor is doing. I can only control now, today. I can't control yesterday. I can't control tomorrow. So, you know, I think a beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. And as long as, you know, you hold on to that, I think you can really make a day a good day. But yes, Vivienne, I'm like everybody else. You know, I'm a human being. I get frustrated at times and I show my frustration. Yet I've learned to kind of, okay, let it go. You said your piece. It's time to move on.
So let's now take a look at your beautiful work, because I know that you've got some amazing images here to share with us. So talk me through this, Sam.
This was a great photo shoot. At the time, my art director was Geneva Cowan from Alaska. And I have to tell you, so much I learned from her. You know, I really understand the what, how, and why of teaching, yet my hands needed to kind of almost like practice and reinvent myself. My hands were more or less stuck. And I made a connection with Geneva Cowan, and she became the art director for the brand. And I'll never forget, she came up to me, she goes, I can help you. And I said, how? She goes, I can help you with your images. I said, I need some help. You know, I'm going to be really honest and transparent with people. It's so important that you surround yourself with the right people. And I found this woman that just had an eye, Vivienne, for photography, for work. And she was a hairdresser. She came from the Redken artist stable. And I said, let's go. And so this particular shoot, as she said, we need to go to Montreal to shoot. So we packed up the team off to Montreal. And her reason being was because of the atmosphere, the culture of Montreal, the artistic culture, the models we were able to find, the wardrobe people, the whole environment of what we did. This shoot was very interesting because we wanted to take a different route in regards to, this collection was retitled Africa. And it was a moment in time where we felt that we really need to cross the line and just think more ethnic type of feeling, if you will. And then we really got into animals. And as you go through the slides, you'll see that what the one mistake was the animals. You know, we really loved this shoot, but Vivienne, it did not get a lot of play. And the reason being is because a lot of magazines were like, well, the animals, you know, you're going to have the Animal Society, this and that. And it was a learning lesson for us because we really felt good about what we created here. We were so ecstatic, but it just didn't get a lot of press, a lot of publish, and a lot of it was the animals. So I guess the learning lesson there, Vivienne, was, you know, be careful what you think, you know, I mean, like maybe shooting with furs, you know, we've thought about that once. And that after we did this, we thought, no, we're not going to shoot with furs, even if it's faux. But it was a huge lesson for us. But I have to tell you, this was so much fun. If you look at what you see there, even on the ground, this team brought in this flour mixture, whatever it was, and they made the sand. I mean, and these animals were really, none of this was cropped in. It was all, no green screen. It was all what you see right now.
So that's a real animal with the horns?
Those are, let me say, they were from the museum. We got in contact with a museum that had these, and it was an animal museum like a zoo. And we actually asked if we could rent them, and they said sure. You know, they needed some money. We said we'll donate to the museum and we'll pay you for renting these. So that's basically what we did. And
Wow.
as you can see, they look real. It was amazing. They are, but they're taxidermy kind of thing.
Wow.
So that's the pushback that we got, was a little bit of that. But it was interesting because when they presented the lookbook to me and I saw the animals, I go, guys, why the animals? Africa, you know, et cetera. And I thought, yes, I've been on a safari. I know what it's like. It's a great inspiration. So that's basically what we ran with. And we discovered as we were shooting, what was really interesting was Geneva, the art director, she started becoming allergic to the wheat and the flour that they made look like sand. So during the entire 2-3 days we were shooting, she was just getting itchy and coughing. And I mean, there was so much that you have to think about in a photo shoot.
How many days in production was this before you actually went into the studio?
Ask again, Vivienne.
How many days in production were you before you went into the studio?
Before we went into the studio to shoot this, we were probably, I'd say, about a month into production, you know, in terms of sitting down, going over our lookbooks. I mean, it's just not a matter of showing up, as you know. Yes. It's a matter of planning. It's a matter of like, what's the end result we want to see? So what we do is we'll get the inspiration, and then we look at the what's the end result, and then we work our way from the end result forward, which I thought was really interesting. I always worked from the inspiration to where I wanted to go. But it was interesting because it was interesting. She sat me down. She said, Sam, I see this and this and this. And then she had tear sheets and swipes that we were looking at. And this is how we'd like to end it. Now let's talk about, okay, what do we need to do to create that? So it was about a month or two, at least a month in planning. And then getting there, and as you know, dealing with the things that don't happen that you expected to happen, you know, your hands being tied a little bit, and then having to improv and make things work. And we had a whole team, probably about 12 people there that were involved in this shoot.
And how long did each hairstyle take to create on the day?
Oh, at least 2 hours minimum. You know, how you're moving things around, and all of those are wigs. They're all wigs and pieces. Some of it is some of their hair, but a lot of it was wigs and pieces and just basically maneuvering around. The one you're looking at right now was basically almost like it was like Velcro.
So let's now shift gears and let's get into doing our favorite thing of all, hair. And Sam's going to teach me a technique. So he sent me a photograph of the end result. So I just saw the back. So Sam, I got a little creative with the front. So I hope that's
I love it. No, matter of fact, Vivienne, I thought, I can't wait to see what Vivienne does with this technique.
Well, you inspired me when you say he sends me a picture, right, folks, of what I need, and he puts the elastic bands in a heart shape.
Yes.
You're a teddy bear. Oh, and Sam, before we start, you were doing those cool exercises on Instagram today.
Oh, yes, I was.
Okay, so I have one for you because you were doing all the hand thing,
yes, right?
So when your hands are like this, right? Can you see me like this, right?
Yeah.
So when we're like this in front of our clients, our shoulders are obviously rounded. And so when we have our hands like that, our shoulders, you can see, are more round. But when we do that, we open our shoulders. So just from this to that.
Oh, yes.
You feel the stretch, you feel the openness. And actually, it's something I try and remember to do that on every new guest.
Yes.
It's very open.
You know what I noticed? My palm, like my hands are facing this way, but when I turn my arm this way, this whole upper body just opens up.
Yeah, so from there. Okay, guys, at home, stand up, put the cocktail down or your beer or whatever you have, and just do this with Humor Mother right now. So from here, hands this way, and then turn. And it just opens this whole area. So after a really tough blow dry, it's just very nice.
You know what? It almost felt like my breathing was much easier too at that same time. That was great.
I wish you could.
Let me see. What did you? Oh, look at you! I love it, Vivienne.
Well, you sent me the picture of the elastic bands, so I thought, well, what would it be like if I put elastic bands in there?
I love it.
But then I realized, oh my gosh, well, Sam, you don't realize I just finished doing a course on the ponytail. So when you sent me a picture of a ponytail, it was like, oh my gosh. And I tell you, Sam, it's been probably one of the hardest things I ever done, this course on ponytails. And we're going to show my friends a little later on some fun things around it. But yeah, so I'm thrilled. So anyway, I just put her in 3 elastic bands. Then I pulled it apart, right?
I love it.
But I pulled it apart, and then I put 2 ponytails here, one to get this secure, and then I took this across. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to change this a bit more, and I changed it, and I messed this up. So I did this ponytail 3 times.
Well, you know what's amazing is this is what it's all about, Vivienne, is somebody can share something with you, and then you say, okay, well, I'm going to do this and this and this with it. So never here to dictate that this is the way you have to do something, but this is one way maybe you can do it, and then take it your own. So let me show you what we're going to show Vivienne how to do. So I'm actually going to show Vivienne how to do this. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm going to show her how to do this little guy here in terms of, there we go.
That's so pretty.
Yes, and it's so simple working with an elastic. So it's almost like you're getting these flower petals when you actually do it. So
you've been spending time in the garden, haven't you, Sam?
I have. Actually, you know what's so funny, guys? I'm not a gardener, okay? Don't think I'm not even a handyman. What happened with my wife was, no, Vivienne, I'm the worst. When something breaks, like the little towel thing that comes off, you know how you hang your towels? I go to my wife, let's Velcro it on. She just looks at me. She goes, you use too much Velcro. But anytime I try to fix something, I just make it worse. Even my son is like, Mommy will fix it. Mommy will fix it. You know what they say, stay true to what you do, right?
Yeah, they do. Okay.
All right. You know, you're ready.
Yes, I'm watching.
Okay. So the first thing that I need, and you may know some of these things, I'm probably sure you do, but let's walk through it and maybe we'll get a little different flavor on it. What I'm going to do, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover this elastic. So we're going to take 2 long hairpins, and that's what you're going to need. So I'm grabbing 2 long hairpins.
Like this?
They look like this. Okay.
Where is it? Where's my camera? Oh.
Yes.
Like that? Oops.
Yes.
Going the wrong way. Oh,
yes,
okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
All
okay,
right.
so I want you to take the first hairpin that you're going to work with, okay? And we're going to take the round surface of that on the top here, and watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to slide that underneath the entire elastic and place it in at an angle. Okay, so it looks like this.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Now, once we have that, now it's going to be real simple. The method with your right hand, I'm going to work with my right hand. I'm going to palm and pinch this just like this. So palm and pinch. Good. Excellent. Okay. Now, what we're going to be doing as we wrap, we're going to be lifting our thumb and placing it back down. Lifting our thumb and placing it back down. Okay. So we're going to grab a section of hair. The object of this exercise is we want to cover up that elastic. Okay. So now I've taken a section. Excellent, Vivienne. Okay. Now I'm going to go to palm and pinch. I'm going to lift my thumb, and I'm going to wrap that around it, place my thumb back on it. Okay? Reach underneath, grab, pull it to you, nice and tight with tension. Excellent. Lift your thumb and wrap again. Oh, Vivienne. Nice. All right. Reach underneath again, grab, pull tight again with tension. Tension is the key word through this exercise. Lift your thumb and hold. Okay, now we'll stop here. Now you're going to grab your other hairpin. Okay, so look how I've got that nice and tight. Okay, good. Grab your other hairpin. Okay, now the object now is I'm going to take this section here that I have that my thumb is holding, and the object is I want to get this section through the eye of that needle. Let's call it the hairpin there. So you're going to open up the legs of the hairpin. Take a look first. Watch. I open up. And I grab that. Now watch me squeeze the legs through that eye without affecting any other hair. So both legs of that hairpin caught this hair, and both legs squeeze through that eye of the hairpin. Okay? Now the object is I want to thread that through. So once I have that, reach on the other side and thread that through.
That's so sensible. I'm glad that it's a big pin to go through because my eyesight's not what it used to be, Sam.
Yes, and longer pins work better. That way you're not. No worries. That's happened to me.
Okay. Are you good at fishing?
Yes, as a matter of fact, what people don't know, I love to play golf and I bass fish.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. And I sew.
All right, I've got it through. Mine's a little shorter. Yeah, got it.
That's good. Okay, now you should be like this, Vivienne. So the hair is through that eye of the hairpin. Okay, good. Now keep your tension. Look at my thumb. It's still over this. So yes, that a girl. Now what I want you to do is watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to push this hairpin all the way down while I hold this nice and tight. This hair. Then I'm going to push this all the way down in. That a girl. Beautiful. Now release both hands. And now grab the legs of the hairpin and pull it through. That a girl. Excellent.
Lovely.
Yes. So that's a great trick to go in and hide the elastic. And Vivienne, I think if there's anything, what I would recommend to all of the people that are your listeners out there and the lookers, this is a good way to add value behind the chair. And what I mean, while the color is processing, grab a mannequin and show a client how to do this. Even though she has a pixie, what you're doing is you're going to make her the hero of the family. She can go back to her daughters, her nieces, her granddaughters, simply by doing that trick without using a grip. All right, now we're going to go through the fun part. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, first of all, we need some product. So grab a paste of your choice or whatever. I like to use this one. Okay, this is Rough Paste by Redken. Okay. I'm going to take a small amount.
Okay. Paste. All right.
Okay. All right.
So you need to have it heavy or slippery?
I like about medium. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to emulsify. Now I'm going to give your viewers a little trick here. Okay. Some of the stylists, when they go back to work, Vivienne, they're going to be wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. It's difficult to feel the viscosity and emulsify with gloves.
Yeah.
So what I recommend they do is simply take a cap of a product like this. Okay. Yeah. And now put the product here and melt it. Yeah. With a blow dry. Then take it and emulsify it with your gloves on, and it emulsifies easier, and you get an even application.
Oh, that's a great tip.
Yeah, because I'm trying to help people that are out there that are going to be going back to work, and it's just amazing how simple little things are going to be changing. Okay, now I'm really heating this up, and then I'm going to take a section. Okay, and you decide the size of section you want to take, and now look how I'm just continually working this as so it compacts that section together, that paste. Yes. Okay? All right, so go ahead and take a section.
Mine, I think, has more layers in it. I hope that'll be okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah, just make sure you put a lot of product on that thing.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to move my length out of the way so you can see. You're doing awesome. All right, here we go. Now I've gotten an elastic. Okay, and I've made my elastic into a triangle using my index finger, my thumb, and my middle finger. You got it, girl? Yes. Okay. Now allow me to walk you through it first. Visually watch and listen to the verbiage. Okay. So I'm going to take this triangle that I have. I'm going to place it directly in front of that. Now, once I'm here, I'll give you a little view like that. Once I'm here, I'm going to grab this section, always holding on to this strand that we have. I'm going to grab this, bring it through, twist, and place it onto this index finger. Now watch again. I'm going to come back and review. I want to walk you through it first. Now I'm going to lock this section in by crossing that elastic, and there you see the triangle again. Go back to your position, your triangle. Middle finger, the index finger goes in. Now watch me go grab. So I'm grabbing the hair between my strand and my finger. I go in between, pull through to the elastic, twist, and place it on this finger. And I lock that in. I'm going to go again. See how I set myself back up? There's my triangle. I'll move my hand. Middle finger goes in. Once I'm in, I go between my finger and the hair, grab, pull this through, roll or twist, and place it on. Lock it one more time. In, pull, and lock. Now, simply place your thumb here with your index finger. See how they're placed together? They're kind of glued together. Slide this off over your thumb. While you slide the elastic over that, you bring that over it. And then when you release, what you get is you get this little petal that does this. And it's just really cool in the way that that works and what it does. Okay, so let's do it again.
Can you crochet?
Yes. Yes.
Only real men crochet.
I love you, Vivienne. Yeah,
my goodness. That's a brain spin. That one is. All right.
Yes.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Let's walk through it again together.
Triangle.
Triangle.
Hair
okay.
through.
That a girl.
Hair
Pull
through.
through and twist.
There. Then you change. And then you bring it there.
Yes. Now twist the elastic and lock it. That a girl. Yes. Now get your triangle again. That a girl. Yes. Reach inside.
And now run out of hair.
Okay. Do it one more time then. Try to see if you can get one more. I'll do 3 too.
Well, it's a very sad little piece.
No, that's all right. Okay. Now once you're there, lock it again. Okay. Lock.
Another. Yeah.
Yep. Now put your thumb and index finger over it there. Now slide it over. And now slide it off. That's perfect. What you did there. Now it should go right to it.
I see. How
perfect.
Cool. So can I pull this apart?
Yes, you can pull it apart, make it a little bit bigger if you want. I find the smaller they are, they look good. It's just a matter of what's pleasing to your eye.
So would I pin this now, or I do them all then pin them?
No. So look what I've done. Okay. See how I placed mine?
Oh,
now
yeah.
Take this,
yours are perfect. Mine's not.
That's it. No worry. I love you. Now watch. Here's a good pinning trick for these little guys. Take a look at this pin. Now watch how I pinch the legs together, and then I place the pin in. So you don't have to go in with it so wide open. It's better if you pinch the legs together and just slide in that side, that elastic, and then slide your pin down inside. Okay. And you're good to go.
All right. That's really cool. Yours is perfect. I just made mine messy. But that's okay. I could do a messy version, couldn't I?
Yeah, messy is cool.
All right. So
what looks good to some people doesn't look good to some people, and what doesn't look good to some people looks good to others. So
okay, and then obviously the moisture that you have in this, if it's gelled versus if it's dry, makes a huge difference too, because you get a raw versus a polished feeling. Yours is really posh. I have to say that's proper posh.
Well, you know what, Vivienne, if you made a great point there. If the hair is more layered, then go to a gel. If you have one length hair, then you can go to a paste or a lotion. So I really believe that it's understanding your product in terms of what length or what texture you're working with. Okay, let's try. I'm going to watch you do it.
I've already gone brain freeze. So here's my triangle. It comes through. Oh, then I go there. Then I change there and I twist.
Yes. Now go through, get another one. Inside.
Yes. Through, then I come through there. Then I come through there.
And twist.
And then I twist.
Good. Now go get one more.
I have no more. You see, I started too low down, didn't I?
Yeah. But see, what's great about that, it still goes to 2. It should go to 2, like, let's call them petals, if you will.
Okay. So I need to start off higher. So this is a good thing about the triangle. I like that, the triangle. Yeah. So I bring this through, and then I change finger, and then I twist.
Yes.
Then I bring this through, then I change, then I twist.
Yes.
Where did you learn this?
Actually, you know what, Vivienne? I'm just a messenger. I want to say I'm a messenger. I do a lot of research. I'll see people do things.
Yeah.
And it just inspires me to do it a different way. So I saw a girl out of, I think it was out of Asia, Japan. She was doing this. She was doing this on IG, I believe, on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I saw her do it, and I thought, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I really started playing with it, and then I kind of figured it out. But yeah, it's all research, Vivienne. It's, I think, but most everything's been done, but yet we're discovering different ways to do things, which is really fun.
So because mine is not gelled or polished, and because I did this, I feel like this sensibility needs to kind of live a little bit more. She needs to be rough and tough.
I love it. Like you. Pretty and tough. Pretty and tough.
So then I'm going to pinch my little legs, and then I'm going to put this through and then go down. Are you passionate about hair and ready to take your styling career to the next level? If so, don't skip this video. Instead, click the link to find out how you can join thousands of hairdressers who've improved their skills, gained confidence, and increased their earnings by as much as 60 to 70% in just a few short months. Amazing, right? What are you waiting for? Click the link and I will see you on the inside.
The only question that we had was the hair set at all? You know, they were asking if yours was set, Vivienne, or maybe Sam, what did you do to prepare the hair?
Thank you for asking, Rosemary. Great question. Anytime we do long hair, I don't know about you, Vivienne, I'm sure you believe the same. It's all about setting up your foundations. So the first thing I did was I worked with a mousse, a Redken's Guts 10. I used that at the base, and I did a directional blow dry, because I knew I wanted to place my ponytail back here, number one. Number two was I needed to fatten this up a little bit and make it a little bit more pliable and not so smooth. So I just went in there with a texture iron, which is a mini crimping iron, and I just kind of wove it and just kind of crimped the woven part of it. So it fattened up the ponytail a little bit, and it makes it a little bit more pliable. So after that, the next thing was, once you get your ponytail in, now you're set to go. You saw how we covered the elastic. And then the last thing to make it really work is whether it's a lotion, a paste, or a gel, depending upon if you're working with layers, one-length hair, or if you really want it stable, that would determine the choice of product. And then I love the finish everything off with a hairspray. So I love that in terms of finishing. And a little hot tip with a hairspray, Vivienne, that I share with people is the distance, the length of the can determines the distance of spray.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, so a lot of clients, you know how they are, Vivienne, they get carried away with hairspray and they're like this close, and then they don't like it because it's crunchy. So just that little hot tip is great. And I really, once again, believe when you go back to salon, you're going to need these little hot, valuable tips.
Okay, great. Cool.
Wonderful. I think Maddie's just asking you to just touch base again on how you prep the hair one more time. If you could just kind of makeshift pretend to do it.
Yep. So I applied my mousse at the base. Okay. Then I like working with a paddle brush. So then I bring the hair down vertically, and all I did was open it, close it, section by section, blow dry. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a wrap dry, but I'm focusing on that base because I focus on the direction of where I want that hair to go. That's the most important thing. Round brush, if I used the round brush came in a little bit more like this way. So it really helps me to get the direction I wanted that ponytail to go. So let me just reposition. There we go. So I went right here, back like this. So my point that I'm trying to make is a directional blow dry is really critical. I think the mistake I used to make as a hairdresser, Vivienne, what I would do when I want to put a ponytail in, I would go in and I would just grab the hair and start brushing it to where I wanted the ponytail. But I noticed that it would start to get splits inside. And it was because I didn't have zone one or the base in a directional blow dry. So that was
such a good teacher. My gosh, the way you explain things is amazing.
Oh, thank you, Vivienne. I've learned from you the best.
No.
Watching Trevor. But watching Trevor and you guys work and how you guys explain things was great. So
I'm having a wobbly woo here.
Hey, listen, that could be a discovery. You never know.
I know. It could be a discovery, indeed. And, I think, too, Sam, with what people are saying about not being able to blow dry when they go back, some of these cute little ponytail ideas could be very, very interesting as we go back. So I've got this here, and I've got it undone. I'm almost feeling like I want to put the whole thing up. Is that okay if I do the whole thing?
Matter of fact, I'm going to take a bigger section too, Vivienne. So you can make these. You could take one ponytail, whole ponytail. But Sam, do I wrap it around one index finger? Well, thank you for asking. Because you're going to use the whole ponytail, maybe take 3 fingers, or maybe even take a rod and use the rod as your index finger. So start to play with the idea. Remember, just a messenger. Sharing the technique. From here, I think that's where creativity comes. It's just playing with things. And remember, you're all creative. You have it inside of you.
Well, and also the little things like the triangle and coming through, wrapping it around the index finger, and then changing fingers.
Yes.
And oh no, I did it wrong. You
So
got to actually concentrate.
Yes.
Around and then change around into this hand here. Don't watch me, guys. Watch Sam. He's much better at this than me. and then around here. So it's kind of in the world of braiding, isn't it? Where you mentioned before, you've got to really have good dexterity skills. So I think that's really important. So I think Sam just froze on us for a second. So I'm going to pull this apart, and maybe we'll get Sam back in a second. So I'm going to just come through here and pinch and pin through here. And then I'm going to deconstruct my hairstyle, I feel. Oh, we got you back, Sam. You vanished for a second, sweetheart.
No problem. I'm back with you. So now look, see the triangle I have here? You can see the triangle on the elastic right here.
Yes.
Little finger goes in, and then just look for the hair that you have that you're holding. Grab it between your finger and the hair, and now just twist it on. And now lock it in. Don't forget to lock it in. And now, look, I'm going to go, this time I'll go index to index. See that? And now slide it off. Take my elastic, slide over it. And now watch this one be bigger. Look how big that one is.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, here, I'll turn it where you can see, Vivienne.
Yeah, that looks really good. Really good. Really good.
So
yours is perfect. Mine is not perfect at all. Oh, gee.
Well, you know better than I do. Perfect or comes with experience, doesn't it?
Yeah. And sometimes perfect is like, oh, well, we don't really want it to be that perfect either. So, yeah, well, the brilliant thing about the world of dress work is it teaches shape, it teaches balance, it teaches dexterity skills. It also is a very nice way of exploring, because if it doesn't work, she's a shampoo from change. And I think
now look what I created. Look what I created here, Vivienne.
Wow, that's pretty.
Well, let me get her in the camera here. Oh, there we go. Okay, wow. So you can see how you can just do a whole bunch, really play with it in terms of how you do it. So the inspiration here, where's my picture? Let me show you, Vivienne. Came from this picture.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought, well, why can't I take, instead of a scarf, I'll just use this technique and make it look like a scarf.
I love that. That could almost, you could make that into a pixie haircut sort of vibe, like a little cap effect, which I think that would photograph so well. And of course, the color is amazing too, isn't it?
Yes. Well, these were great mannequins from Pivot Point. I love Pivot Point.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm trying to say here, guys, is look at this, how you could just look at this, Vivienne.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Just pull it back. And I mean, so it's just really, guys, just take the technique and make it your own.
Yeah.
Basically just the messenger giving you the how or how to do it. But
yeah, love that, guys. Show some thumbs up. I think that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Really good job. Beautiful. So Sam, I'm starting to pull mine apart because look, I pulled mine apart.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how it works with the front, what you did in the front.
Yeah, that's why I was feeling that would probably work.
I just love your delicate hands. Your hands are so delicate in terms of how they work. Mine can tend to be a little heavier. Vivienne, this is something I work out with. So
what is that?
This is something I made. It's just basically an O-ring and strands, and I have one with 3, one with 4, one with 5, one with 6, and I braid on these.
Yes.
And the reason I practice on this first is because I discovered when I go to the hair and try some of these braids, I get all tangled up. So I work my rhythm here first, then I take it to the hair, and my confidence level is bigger. So, for example, this would be how I would practice this. This would be the strand, and you take your elastic.
That is so cool.
And you're here, and you just bring that through and twist. Now you can really see what I'm doing. And then I just lock that in. There's that strand and my finger. Bring that through. And that's all we're doing. See? Same thing. But practice on rope first, then take it here, and your confidence level just goes up tenfold.
That is so cool. I use wool. Isn't that funny?
Yes. Yes. I've tried wool, but sometimes I find it too soft and I get tangled up.
Oh,
so when I teach braiding, I just basically teach rhythm, really cool little rhythm sound bites. I
love that, Sam. I love that. That is really excellent, really excellent. So obviously, talk to me about balance. How do you see balance in a hairstyle?
Well, I think, balance has a lot to do with proportion. Like, for example, these shags, I see some shags that are cut so short on top on this extreme look. I guess it's about taste level. My taste has been a journey in this industry, Vivienne.
Yes.
My taste buds have changed in terms, I'm talking about my eyes and how they see things. That's beautiful.
Yes.
And how my eyes see things. So I think, balance and proportion are so key to remember. And it begins with lines, vertical, horizontal, and diagonal, how you choose to alternate that.
Yeah.
It's about balance. So I think, balance is critical. When I looked at this one, the very first time I did it, I didn't like it because I thought I had too much hair filled in, like right in here. Now, that would be a matter of taste, wouldn't it, in terms of that? Absolutely. But I wanted to make the eye kind of go up and then come back down. So once again, I think balance is critical, but then it's a matter of that taste of that eye in terms of how they read and see balance.
Yeah, for sure. And then when you come to sort of work into your mirror and look at the totality of the shape, obviously mine's become more formal because she's gone into a chignon. But what I love about your technique, Sam, is that yours, the two that you've done, from the beautiful sculpture and this one where it's actually on the head, is actually my favorite. I think the creativity of this technique is amazing. And as you said, like when you put it on the right person with the right balance, it becomes super interesting. So, wow, what a great technique.
Well, can you imagine you do the whole head like this, except maybe leave out the hairline? And
I would need alcohol to get through that.
Hey, glass of wine, it's definitely a good thing when you're doing some of these things.
Yeah, but I don't drink. That's the problem. I used to. Then I went on one of these crazy cleanse things with some shaman, and after that, alcohol didn't taste any good anymore. So I went from being a lush to now I'm very organic.
I love that.
There you go. That's more information than any of you need to know. My other thing that I like to do, Sam, is I love the principle of a triangle. And I like a shape that has like a triangle and a triangle. Yes. And I always think that's really nice. So
see, now that's balance. I just learned something from you just looking at that.
Yeah, I always find you. Yeah, and I love a hairstyle to have rhythm. And then when I'm doing something like through here, I like to sew. Sewing's my big thing. Don't ask me to sew a hem, but I can sew hair, which I think is also really, really nice. And then, so how do you know when to stop? Because I'm the queen of fiddle.
When you think it's right to your eye.
Yeah.
I would stop. Vivienne, what's your favorite thing to do? Do you like upstyling long hair, or do you like cutting, or both?
I love it all. I mean, truly. I mean, people don't tend to know this, but because I was an artistic director at Vidal Sassoons, I come from a very strong cutting background. So I love hair cutting. I love razor cutting, which was never allowed at Sassoons, but I love it. I love dress work. But I think, Sam, the thing I love the most is the right look on the right person and making sure that it's relevant. And I think that's really, really important to know. So yeah, that to me now balances that scale with that scale, and that brought out definitely works. And this is actually two ponytails, my friends. And what I'm doing right now is I'm designing into my mirror so that I have a sense of balance. So to me, a shape should work from every single angle, and a ponytail in particular should work from every single angle. So that's really, really important. Thank you so much, Sam. I love this one that's tighter, like on the head. I think that is genius.
I thought I'd save this one as a surprise. I worked on this one. I thought I'm going to save this for Vivienne and just show her at the end. I was going to send you a picture of it, but I'm glad I did.
So guys, this is a good time to screen capture. So why don't we now just show you these two looks? I'm going to bring mine up and I'm going to do a front, side, and back so that you can screen capture what we have done, and you'll have a good reference for today. So we're going to do our front, our side, and our back, and the other side. And mine is obviously to the side, so I have more volume on one side than the other. So these are really good. So, let's see can you bring your little girl closer? Your other little girl, she's amazing.
This one?
Yeah, that's great. So guys, take a screen capture of Sam's as well, so you have that as a reference. Cool. Okay. So now let's change gears. We're going to change gears. So guys, I have came up with a ponytail collection, and I just want to show you that collection for those of you who just joined a little while ago. if you go to our Facebook group, which is called Hairdressers Create, you can get 50% off of the ponytail collection. So take a screen capture of that so that you know where to go. Again, this is where you can connect with Sam, which is really important. So Sam, you have created an unbelievable following on Instagram, and the last time I looked, it was 800,005 members. You must forget that 5. I'm one of those, by the way. I follow you and I love what you do. So what was your strategy in building your social media platform? And do you have help to create that number?
Vivienne, it all began when we started this small brand. We decided, we didn't have the money for the advertising that it took to really get it out there. And I saw the platform, social media, as free advertising. Yet, I felt that we were moving away from DVDs and we were getting into what we referred to at that time as educational sound bites. And we were hot little tips and tricks. Matter of fact, one of my best friends, why are you calling them tricks? You're not a magician. I said, just, trying to get people's attention. Sometimes when you just change the language for the right reason, you get people's ears to perk up a little bit more. So it's about really creating hot tips and tricks that were short educational sound bites that people could grasp immediately. So I moved away from DVDs because I actually saw it moving away from that and leaning more into social. And it was just one trick after another. It just started to snowball after that in terms of the following. We were really more after the advertising than the following. The following just kind of magically happened.
Wow. And do you have a team that helps you with this, Sam?
Yes. People ask me that all the time. Let me say it this way. When we began to take the social route, my alarm went off normally at 7 a.m. When I decided to go the social route, it went off at 6 a.m. So I would lay there in bed doing the things that I needed to do to keep up with that social game. So in other words, what I'm trying to share with you, if you make a decision to do something, don't cram it into your existing day. You're going to have to add that quality time in order to achieve it. Now, yes, with the following I have and the demand it takes, the job it takes, and the knowledge it takes to do social media, I have a team of 3 people that work for me full time, and they basically are on there constantly. And these 3 people, people ask, is that you that's talking or do you have other people? These 3 people know me inside now. So they've had to go through a thing where, okay, how would Sam say it, basically? So in the beginning, I'd, walk through it and say, okay, no, let's change that to this. Now they pretty much get it, and I find myself on there, not as much, but I'm on there whenever I can be, I'm on there.
Well, I think that's very important because when people see anything you do, Sam, it appears very easy and they don't realize the work involved, and you can't start something unless you have the ability and the desire to continue with it, especially when you look at social media. It's a lifestyle decision that can really change your life in a big way. I'd like to ask you about how you became such an extraordinary presenter and speaker, because whenever I've seen you on stage or behind a camera on television, you have a grace about you and a command that has authority, and yet there's such realness and kindness in how you come across. How did you develop that skill?
That was all about, I thought I knew how to teach, Vivienne, but I really didn't. It didn't happen until I joined Redken. Redken really helped to make me who I am to get today as a teacher in regards to understanding learner-focused education, meaning that it was about the learner, not about me. So it kind of got me off this island, if you will. I, me. It became we kind of thing. And then it helped me focus on, as a teacher, I've got a great team out of Spain that has asked me to help them learn to teach. They're great at what they do, but they seem to find that they can't teach. They said, Sam, is there a trick to it? It's real simple. It's tell them what you're doing, tell them how you're doing it, tell them why you're doing it, and tell them when to do it. And if you can you have a conversation with your little voice, tell them what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and when you would do it. It's amazing the amount of time that you get, but it gets your teaching point right across. So it was not something that I had naturally inside of me. It was something that I actually was able to learn, learner focused, be more focused on the learner. And for example, if somebody asks me a question, I fire questions back at them that lead them to the answer, which makes them more of a hero. So much in school and all our life, we've been told what to do, what not to do. We've been told the answer. But if we can help learners discover the answer, you become their hero. And I think that mindset is really something that I've tried to, say that I'm not a know-it-all, or I don't go in there as a know-it-all. I don't go in there with all the answers. I want to help them discover the answers.
Yeah, and I think that comes across. Your heart is such that of a giving person, which is wonderful. How did you land some of these most amazing TV jobs that you've had? Because you've had a really nice career in television. How did that happen?
It was not something I wanted to do, Vivienne. I actually got talked into that because these reality shows would approach me, and I have a great team that manages me, and they're very protective because we know what can happen, how disastrous a reality TV show can be. It can fit some people and some personalities, but my team really wanted to make sure that whichever one I got involved with, it was really upgrading the industry. And that's basically, how it occurred. And it was when people would see my personality show, they would say, hey, he would be good on TV. We need to get him. So that's basically how that happened. I've never tried to do it. I've always, be who I am, speak how I speak, and then things just would start to come my way. So TV was not something where I wanted to go. It just happened, and it happened for a right reason. I think also now my focus, Vivienne, is to reach the consumer. I really feel I can help the consumer and really help understand the hairdresser and the value, especially in today's world, the value of a hairdresser.
Great. Well, that's music to all of our ears to go out there and wave the flag for our craft. We love that. So thank you, Sam. Many people have had a fantasy for a moment or two about, I'd like my name on a bottle, or I'd like my own product line. And I've seen the success and I've seen the heartache of when it goes horribly wrong. You were very brave and you went and created your own line. What have been the biggest lessons you've learned in putting your name on a product?
First of all, Vivienne, when I decided, I thought I'm going to do these DVDs. And then I had these people really that are strong behind me. They said, you need to do more than DVDs. Don't come out with one SKU. What else would you like to do? And I thought, tools. I've had issues with my hands, my wrists. I said, let's make some focus on ergonomic tools. So that was the focus. Yet, when it came time to the name of the tools, I wanted to call it All of Us. That's spelled ALLVUS, which is actually the name of my company. And we do business as Sanvia. But then my senior advisors, they were like, who is All of Us? I said, well, that's us. It's all about us. It's about the hairdressers. They go, no. The name of the tools are going to be Sanvia. I'm like, no, I don't want to put my name on the tools. And they said, people know Sanvia. People want to hold Sanvia. They don't know All of Us, and they don't want to hold all of us. And I started thinking about that, Vivienne, and I'm glad I did what I did because I understood the business value behind that in terms of being able to set up the brand and make tools that I knew if they're going to have my name on it, then they need to be right. And I've discovered, Vivienne, if I had to do this all over again, would I do it all over again? Let me just say this. Electricals are temperamental. Get it? It could be one little chip that's missed in that assembly line can affect thousands of tools, which has happened before. And if one tool doesn't work, it just gives yourself a bad name. So it's a very temperamental industry. But on the other side, I'm glad I'm doing it because we really want to get them right. And we stand behind our tools. Good.
Well, that's great to hear. So, Sam, how has this pandemic changed your priorities?
Oh, wow. It's changed my priorities in a lot of ways. I mean, you continue to hear that reset word. You said it earlier. And it changed my priorities and the fact that I need to stabilize my family, stabilize my life. And one of the things I first immediately did was my wife is medically endangered, her immune system. So we stabilized our surroundings. So it changed our lifestyle at home. I'm the point person, go out, come back, strip, shower, do all that, making sure that, everything's taken care of. And then I simply said, are we financially stable? Because she's the accountant. And I said, can we survive for 6 months? Let me know. She came back. She said, yes, we can make our mortgage payments. We can make all of our, we're going to be fine. And then I said, okay, take out your iPhone. She goes, what do you mean? I said, let's go through the apps and delete the apps we don't need. We discovered by simply doing that exercise, we deleted $200 of apps that we didn't need. I shared that live with salon owners and said, go back to your stylists that are financially in trouble and tell them just take out their family. One family with 3 kids discovered that they were saved $1,000, just over $1,000 a month just on apps.
Wow.
So my discovery here is there's a huge, huge change going on. I reset and pushed my reset button on my voice as a teacher. I push my reset button as a husband, as a father, as a personality, as an attitude, as an educator. You know, what am I going to come out on this wall that we're trying to fight through to get through? We'll get through it, under it, over it, around it, whatever, but we're going to come out on the other side, my friends. We will. But the question I have is, who are you going to come out on the other side as? Mm-hmm. You know, we're all being squeezed so much. But you know what? What's being squeezed out of you is maybe a lot of goodness and you're feeling anxiety. But guess what? Just nurture yourself, water yourself like those plants outside. Take care of yourself. And, you know, the people that you care and surround yourself with, take care of them. So it's about nurturing and cultivating connections. Yeah. And that's a big, big experience and a life lesson for me going through this is just cultivating these connections, which is why I've tried to really stay relevant and help out as much as I can during this whole crisis.
So how do you see when we go back to working as we were and the economy hopefully will kick back in, how do you see that we as an industry would have taken the learns from this hardship and reinvented ourselves? Do you see a trend or a shift that will be profound?
We're definitely all going to make a pivot. Let me say it that way. You're going to pivot. Now, my question is, which direction are you going to pivot? So ask yourself that. I mean, let's be real, guys. I'm going to be really transparent here, Vivienne. The revenue is not going to be the same. You know, it's just going to be different. So plan on that. So really be ready and plan what it is that you see and be honest and real. The tips are going to go up. The tips will go up because people are concerned about you as a hairdresser. But I really believe that it's going to change and we're going to, the industry is going to evolve out of this. It's going to evolve differently. Things are going to change, but we need to learn to adapt. You know, just as the seasons outside change, Vivienne, we need to change and we need to embrace change in a positive way. So let's think before we push that post button. You never know who you're affecting with a post of your opinion. Yeah. Everybody can have their opinion and your opinion can still be positive. It can have a sense of light for someone. I think that's so important. But the industry is definitely going to be changed. I will be there for you. I will educate for you, whether it be on this or whether it be live. I think both resources of education, live, going to shows, is still going to be important when it comes back. We'll see how it comes back. And then this is going to be another great resource for learning. Absolutely. But as hairdressers, we must never cease to learn, no matter what crisis we're going through.
Absolutely. And we've just run over our hour, but I couldn't resist by asking you these questions. A final message of inspiration to our friends listening.
Focus on how you can versus why you can't. If Vivienne and I can do these things that you see, you have to understand, I'm a human being, you're a human being. The only difference between you and I is maybe I practice these things a little bit more. So now is the time to, as Vivienne said, reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself as a person inside. Reinvent your hands. Reinvent your eyes. And the good Lord gave us 2 of these and 1 of these. When we go back, we're going to have to use this a lot more than we use this. So really seek to understand before you seek to be understood when we have those verbal conversations with each other and in our posts.
Wow, wonderful. Sam, thank you so much for being with me today. It's an honor. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for teaching me a new technique. I'd never done it before, and it's great. And I expect to see that one that you just did behind in a photograph because I think it would be amazing.
I'm building that way with it. You bet I am. I will. Vivienne, thank you so much for what you do. You need to know that you are loved by so many people. Please continue to inspire us and motivate us in the way that you do.
Thank you so much, Sam. Take care, be safe, and bye, everybody. We love you.
Bye, everybody. Love you.